September 2004. In the south of Portugal, in a small village called Figueira, life moved at a slow pace. White houses, warm skies, children playing in the streets until dark. A place where everyone knew everyone. That September, an 8-year-old girl left her home and never came back. Her name was Joana Isabel Cipriano Guerrero. Dark hair, bright eyes, and an entire life ahead of her. Today, more than 20 years later, Joana's body has never been found. Yet the court convicted her own mother of her murder and her own uncle. So, what really happened on that September afternoon? What drove a family to destroy itself from within? And why did this case fall into near silence while others became world news? This is the Joana case. Zero Trace Noir. Where the trail ends, the truth begins. To understand what happened to Joana, you need to know the world she lived in. Joana lived with her mother, Joana Cipriano, in a modest house in the village of Figueira. Figueira sits on the outskirts of Portimão, in the heart of the Algarve, a region that, for tourists, meant beaches, sunshine, and holidays. But for those born there, it was a harder life, a quieter one. Leonor had a partner named Leander. She also had a brother, João Cipriano, who lived nearby. And she had a daughter, Joana, 8 years old. A child who went to school, who played, who existed as all children do, with a lightness that adults sometimes forget. On the 12th of September 2004, that lightness vanished. According to Leonor, Joana left the house in the late afternoon. She went to the local shop to buy a carton of milk. It was a simple errand, an ordinary thing. But Joana did not come back. Leonor said she waited, that she went looking, that she asked the neighbors. Later that night, with her partner Leander and a friend named Carlos, they all went out to search for the child. The police were called. Searches began. The entire village went on alert. But from the very beginning, something didn't fit. Something the investigators felt, even before they had any proof. A strangeness that hung over everything, like smoke before fire. If you've made it this far, you already sense that this case goes much deeper than it appears. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what comes next. And if you want me to go deeper into this story, type Joana in the comments. I read every single one. The Policia Judiciaria took over the investigation. And the more they dug, the less the pieces fit together. The first strange thing was simple. Joana had gone to buy milk at a local shop in a small village, where everyone knows everyone, where any child walking alone would have been noticed. But no one saw her. Not a single neighbor, not a shopkeeper, not one witness. How does an 8-year-old girl simply vanish without anyone seeing a thing? The second strange thing was harder to measure. It was Leonor's behavior. Those who saw her during the searches described her as distant, contained, cold. Of course, emotional shock can silence anyone. Grief doesn't have just one face. But the investigators noticed, and they took note. And then, the investigation took a turn that changed everything. The prosecution came forward with a brutal accusation. Joana had not disappeared. Joana had been murdered by her own mother and by her uncle João.
the alleged motive was even more disturbing. According to the prosecution, Joana had seen something she was never supposed to see. A moment between her mother and her mother's brother. A secret the adults in her life could not allow her to carry. And according to the court, Joana paid for it with her life. João Cipriano eventually confessed, but that confession came with an enormous shadow. João claimed he had been coerced, that the inspectors had pressured him, forced him to speak. Leonor, for her part, arrived at the prison facility with visible marks on her face and body. She said she had been assaulted during interrogations at the Policia Judiciaria in Faro. Here, I need to be honest with you. This case has two stories running at the same time. The story of a child who disappeared, and the story of a legal process marked by serious irregularities. The allegations of police misconduct were taken to court. 3 inspectors were acquitted of all charges. One, Gonçalo Amaral, was convicted of giving false testimony. Another inspector was convicted of document forgery for writing that Leonor had thrown herself down the stairs. In 2013, Leonor herself was convicted for lying about the alleged assaults. I say this because the truth in this case is not simple. Leonor was convicted of her daughter's murder, but the process that led to that conviction was marked by serious doubts. And you need to hold both of those things in your mind at the same time, because Joana deserves that. She deserves an honest account.
The trial came to an end. A jury court convicted Leonor Cipriano and João Cipriano to 16 years in prison for murder, for concealment of a body. They were found guilty of Joana's death, but Joana's body was never found. João Cipriano confessed that he had dismembered his niece's body. He said he placed it in a chest freezer, that the remains were later hidden inside a scrap car, that the car was driven to Spain, burned, and compacted, without a trace. A second version circulated during the investigation, that the body may have been thrown to pigs at a farm near Cachoeira Grande. It was never confirmed. Neither version was fully proven. Joana simply disappeared from the world. During the interrogations, João Cipriano said something. When asked whether he had sexually abused his niece, he replied, "I didn't hurt her. I only killed her." There are sentences that stay with you. That is one of them.
3 years after Joana disappeared. Less than 10 kilometers away, another little girl vanished. It was May 2007, Praia da Luz. Her name was Madeleine McCann. She was 3 years old. The McCann case became global news. Journalists from dozens of countries descended on the Algarve. Governments were pressured. Investigations were opened and reopened. The Joana case was almost forgotten outside Portugal. Leonor's partner, Leandro, said something to journalists that is not easy to hear. He said, "The only difference between the McCanns and us is that we don't have money." I'm not here to judge that statement, nor to compare cases that are different in many ways. But it's impossible not to feel the weight of those words, because they reflect a reality that exists and that is uncomfortable. Some stories reach the entire world. Others stay buried in the pages of local newspapers. And Joana deserved so much more than that.
Leonor Cipriano served her sentence. So did Joana Cipriano. They left prison. They continued their lives. But Joana has no grave. There is no place where anyone can go. No flowers, no moment of silence. There was no goodbye. Some cases remain open, not for lack of an answer, but because the answer that exists is not enough. It doesn't fill the void that was left. It doesn't bring Joana back. Joana Isabel Cipriano Guerrero, born on the 31st of May, 1996 in the Algarve. She was 8 years old when she disappeared, and she deserved an entire life. This was Zero Trace Noir. Zero Trace Noir, where the trail ends, the truth begins.